Alright friends, welcome back to capsule number 6, 33rd week. Read between the lines. This is the capsule which focuses on inner meaning. Board of Reserve Bank approved the transfer of rupees 65,876 crore to the central government. Here, why RBI transfers money, how RBI earns money, these things we are going to deliberate. And before that, RBI's accounting year is from July to June, please don't forget. And Reserve Bank of India transfers surplus to the central government because the central government promoted Reserve Bank of India. Then how this money is classified by the central government? The central government classify it as non-tax revenue. Government gets revenue receipts as well as capital receipts. This comes under non-tax revenue. That means it is one type of revenue receipts, and this will be used normally to finance fiscal deficit by the government of India. And how Reserve Bank of India earns money? Frankly speaking, Reserve Bank's goal is not to earn profit. Basically, Reserve Bank of India's goal or role is to provide adequate liquidity. That is one aspect. In the banking system, RBI's main role is to provide adequate liquidity. Second thing is, foreign currency should be available. There should not be much problems with regard to foreign exchange. Then, orderly conditions in the market are to be maintained, especially in the financial market. Orderly conditions are to be maintained. These three are the main roles of Reserve Bank of India, but it earns money in the process. It undertakes investment activities. Through investment activities, it earns money, and substantial income comes from investments in US Treasury bills. Then commissions and interests earned through currency market interventions. In foreign exchange currency market, the Reserve Bank of India intervenes, and in turn Reserve Bank of India earns commissions and interests. Then interest earned on bond holdings through open market operations of purchase and sale of government securities. All of you are well aware, through open market operations, the Reserve Bank resort to purchase and sale of government securities, and in the process, Reserve Bank of India earns interest. And RBI is also more active in the forward currency markets, right? So, through all these means, Reserve Bank of India earns money, and this is credited to the central government, and central government takes it as non-tax revenue. Look into the second one. Bank of England announced term funding scheme. And if you look at the monetary policies of advanced countries, what they are doing? They are reducing the benchmark interest rates close to 0%. Second thing is, they are increasing quantitative easing. What is meant by quantitative easing? Quantitative easing is basically ensuring circulation of more money in the system by purchasing government bonds as well as asset-backed securities. So, advanced economies, central banks are resorting to quantitative easing so as to push more money, or so as to ensure more money in circulation. And some central banks like Bank of Japan, European Central Bank recently have resorted to negative interest rates. If commercial banks are parking money with central bank, they have to pay back in return. Central bank will not pay. The bank, whichever is parking money with the central bank, has to pay something for parking money. That is negative interest rates. In recent times, Bank of Japan and European Central Bank have resorted to negative interest rates. And now Bank of England announced term funding scheme. What is the term funding scheme? Under this scheme, banks are advised to go for free lending, and up to 100 billion pounds of loans, central bank will give to the commercial banks at advantageous terms. Central bank will give 100 billion pounds to commercial banks, and Banks are advised to lend freely. So this is the new one announced by Bank of England in its monetary policy, in addition to the well laid down strategies such as reducing interest rates, increasing quantitative easing. So let us look at the next one, anti-dumping duty on hot rolled flat steel products. Recently, Ministry of Finance imposed anti-dumping duty for the imports from 6 countries. Please look into this slide. These are hot rolled flat steel products. Recently, Ministry of Finance imposed anti-dumping duty, and anti-dumping duty is imposed by Ministry of Finance based on the recommendations of Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allied Duties. Please don't forget, Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allied Duties is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Based on its recommendations, Ministry of Finance will take final decision. And now here I would like to deliberate on 3 types of duties. One is anti-dumping duty, second one is countervailing or anti-subsidy duty, third one is safeguard duty. These 3 are WTO compliant if there is a genuine reason. Second important aspect is that these 3 are imposed by Ministry of Finance. You may ask, what is meant by anti-dumping duty? It is the duty imposed when the imports are priced below the fair market value. When the importers are selling the products at less than market value, that means they are deliberately reducing the price of the product so as to eliminate domestic competition. Under those circumstances, governments can impose anti-dumping duty, and in our country, this anti-dumping duty investigations are done by Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allied Duties under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and final recommendations are accepted by Ministry of Finance, and finally Ministry of Finance will impose anti-dumping duty. Then countervailing or anti-subsidy duty. This is the duty imposed when the imported product enjoys several subsidies in the country of manufacturing. The product, especially agricultural products, enjoy lot many subsidies in Western countries. Because of subsidies enjoyed by them, they can sell the product at much lesser price. Then domestic industry or domestic products will be affected because of it. Under those circumstances, countervailing or anti-subsidy duty can be imposed. These investigations with regard to the imposition of countervailing duty or anti-subsidy duty is done by Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allied Duties under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and final decision will be taken by Ministry of Finance. And third one is a safeguard duty. Safeguard duty is duty imposed when there is a sudden surge in the imports. When the imports suddenly increase, then this safeguard duty can be imposed, and the investigations with regard to the imposition of safeguard duty are done by Directorate General of Safeguards. This is under the Ministry of Finance. And subsequently, these recommendations are put up to the Ministry of Commerce. Their Board of Safeguards will take final decision, and if a Board of Safeguards of Ministry of Commerce and Industry agrees, then finally Ministry of Finance imposes safeguard duty. So finally, the safeguard duty, countervailing duty, anti-dumping duty, these 3 are imposed by Ministry of Finance, but the process is slightly different. Right friends, look at the last one. Fixed term contract in textile sector. Textile sector jobs are seasonal in nature, and this fixed term contract is proposed by the central government by amending labor laws. And because of this fixed term contract, lot of flexibility will be there for the textile industry in hiring and firing. That means this will apply to factories once it is implemented. This is still in proposal stage. Please don't forget. Once this is implemented, once the required amendments are made to the labor laws, then factories engaging more than 100 workers, this will apply. Then fixed term workers, that means the fixed tenure may be for 3 months, 6 months, 5 months, and they will get same benefits as regular employees. And they will get same benefits in terms of employment, working hours, wages and allowances, just like permanent workers. and they are also entitled for statutory benefits just like permanent workers. And no notice period is required for terminating the contract, and no compensation in case of retrenchment. So, these are the important aspects of the amendments proposed by the central government so as to create the fixed term contract workers for textile sector. Once fixed term contract employees become a reality, then textile sector will be benefited because textile sector jobs are seasonal in nature. Right friends, with this let us conclude Read Between the Lines. Have a nice day. Thank you.